up, we got MATZAH Ballers. We're here with Captain Isaac Cohen. And like I said before, I'm going to jump in right to the spot that everybody looks first. We got Marc Cohen on the mound. A lot to say about Marc Cohen. He's either going to absolutely dominate your team for 7 innings, 14 innings, or he's going to walk 20 guys and make the game totally uncompetitive. From what I've seen from Marc over the last 2 or 3 years in this league, pretty consistently playing with him, against him, regular season is phenomenal. And then the postseason comes, and it's like a switch. 2 years ago, I was playing against him. I was down 12 runs in game 2 of our playoff matchup.
I remember that, yeah.
And he walked 7 guys in a row, and he gave up 2 grand slams after loading the bases. And just like that, poof, we beat them in 3 games. Last year, similar item. We went to game 3. He walked too many players, and poof, just like that, we got taken out by the lowest seed. So Marc Cohen, I don't know if you wanna jump in on him, but he's a mixed bag. You really don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, but listen, the one pitcher that we don't like to face in the league is Marc Cohen. So we're happy we have him on our side. He said he lost 30 pounds and he's in much better shape.
Okay.
I'm confident. I actually played with him 2 years ago. He does mow through lineup, especially in the league this year with a lot of new kids and younger guys coming in. They're not going to be ready for his shenanigans.
Yeah, maybe.
When he's playing versus real good hitters, yeah, they can get him. But when he's playing versus weaker hitters, he's all over them.
Unless he walks them.
Unless he walks them. But the thing about Marc Cohen is people don't want to strike out, and they know with Marc Cohen they might. Yeah. That gets him swinging on the first pitch, and that gets him ahead of the count. And I think we'll be okay.
Okay. I think Marc Cohen could win you tons of games, and he could sink the ship. You really just don't know. A pick I loved. It's Mo Levy. I thought you were going to use him as like your left fielder and maybe kind of complete this outfield here, which you still could if things change. David Shweky and Mo Levy were your next 2 picks, or your first 2 picks. David Shweky, I don't know. I'm hearing that he's, should be in the first. Going to be on the MVP ballot, going to be on the Rookie of the Year ballot. Until I see it, I can't believe it, but he's got to be like the X factor of this team. It all kind of, not to put pressure on the kid, but a lot of this is riding on how good David Shweky actually is.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that. I actually saw him play once. I was hitting around in the park and shouted to what I was playing, and I remember they walked him every single at bat, and the other team knew. I think it was against Flatbush. And they just kept on walking. When he was up, it was a 4-pitch walk. And the one time they didn't walk him, I remember he said, I'm going to hit it to right field. I think he hit it over right field. So he's a little fast kid, fast enough to type that he could beat the ground ball out to short and beat it out. I saw him in center field making all the plays. And then I did my research. I called a couple of his friends, and they all said, take him the first pick. So I'm confident with it being the X factor. And with his speed, he can man most of the outfield.
Right, okay. And you might need the help because I know that Sammy's a little bit slower, Moshe's a little bit slower, so he's going to definitely have to help out a lot over here. Isaac Miz also...
Miz is very fast.
Fast?
Very fast.
Okay. So, yeah. I do, yes. Yeah, I remember him stretching singles into triples.
Yeah, so he's very fast. Yeah. So between center and left being very, very fast, I think our outfield is more than okay.
Yeah, I'd say that definitely, these 2 guys will be good. It's a bit of a question mark over here. I think that's got to be probably the weakest position on the field, just looking at this, because I kind of like the infield. I've played with Yosef. He can play. Mo Levy, I love that you're using him at shortstop. I think that's the right move. JoJo Cohen up the middle. He's solid. I've seen him play. Jack Ritchie played short center for you last year.
Jack Ritchie played short center, which he's going to play some short center this year also. He's going to switch off with me. He's going to switch off with JoJo. He's going to be playing both positions. He did it very well last year, so he's just an extra infielder that we have to play either some third if we need, some short center, and some second base if we need.
Do you have a 4th outfielder here in case for guys like Assassin?
Sam would be the 4. Oh, if we want to go out 4?
4.
I will. I don't know. We're not going to be going 4.
Not going 4 for anyone.
With that speed there, we don't have to.
Okay. Yeah, there's not many players that you probably will need for it, so I don't.
And for Sasson's up the middle hitter. I've seen him hit right up the middle a million times, ground balls. I don't think 4 is the way to go for him either.
Okay.
He can do both, but I'm just with the speed out there. You'll see. There's no need.
I guess he is your X factor, so you're right. And Stanley Salem, he's a catcher? I thought he played the outfield.
He played first base last year.
Stanley Salem. Oh, I'm thinking of...
He was on Joey Sikowski's team. He played first base.
Okay, so I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yeah.
Ike Salem?
Ike Salem,
team. Yeah. Stanley Salem. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so then the way you spoke about David Shweky, I actually like that you're putting him in the one spot.
Yeah.
Because you're forcing people to pitch to him rather than if you put him at 3, and I had to pick again between Yosef and David, I'm going to pick Yosef every time.
Yeah.
So I actually like that a lot. I think the only problem becomes, are these guys ever going to set the table for David to actually do like real damage, or is he going to be stuck as kind of the table setter the whole year if he's your best hitter?
No, I think we'll be fine. Grazzi, down year last year, but 2 years ago, I think it was, or was it 3 years ago, he hit, I think, 550 in a much more competitive league. I was on his team, he was 550 or 560, he was really, really good. Nahum, I don't really know. Stanley hit 350 last year or something like that, so he can definitely get on base.
Stanley hit 330.
And Jack Ritchie also was about 350 last year. So I think we'll be okay compared to other bottom lineups in the league. Again, with Shweky, he's really, really fast. I think it's going to cause even routine ground balls. The people in the field are going to have to try to rush it and overthrow it, giving him easy doubles. And then with Momo and Miz kind of cleaning it up there. And Yosef's just a professional hitter. I have confidence in him. And that's why I reached to get him in the draft. JoJo is, I forgot what he batted when he played here, but he was a solid hitter. He had a great season with us.
I'm going to assume that JoJo's going to hit 300.
I think that's a little low.
Okay, and let him prove me wrong.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that you guys are both going to go on the uptick. But the question really becomes, this lineup isn't blowing me away. It's just, if David Shweky gets out, I don't see a run getting scored that inning unless, Miz hits a triple. But the defense is much improved last year, so he'll have to hit a real triple rather than a ball that got through short and then turned into a fiasco and now he's on third. So I think that scoring runs is going to be a bit of a problem for you guys. I think Marc Cohen will take over, dominate games. I love this outfield behind him, even though when you draft a guy like Marc Cohen, you really want to be stacking your infield because he's going to get a lot of ground balls. So I do like these two guys here. I think they're going to play well together. I think this was great. I like the defense. I'm not sold on right field. I'm not loving that. I think that's a bit of a hole. Grazzi at first is serviceable. It's not a problem. Stanley Salem behind the plate is fine. I see you can play second base. I've seen you do it. You're going to play solid second base, so I'm assuming you're more of the starter there, and then Jack Ritchie and JoJo kind of swap around here. It's interesting. I'm seeing not a lot of depth in this lineup. Even your second round pick in a little bit of a weaker league last year hit 3.
He was the third because I got Miz. I traded for him on my second pick, so usually the third.
It's a.
I think the top 4 is pretty strong, and the middle also. The 5, 6, 7 also.
I think it all depends on what happens at the bottom of this lineup, and David Shweky has to hit 500.
Yeah. At
least. So I think that once you're at 7, 8, 9, depending on the teams, it's gonna be a problem. Just what I'm seeing here. But I like Marc Cohen, for at least the regular season, he's gonna carry you through. I think you guys win games 1-0, 2-0, 3-2. I think that's gonna be your strength overall.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. Obviously, prove me wrong. I want to see all these guys prove me wrong, but that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm gonna give this a C. And obviously, you can't rate your own team, so that's kind of where I'm at. I think
let Ike grade also.
You want a grade? Sure. Come on out. Ike Chaz will give a grade.
Definitely.
If you have any,
also give a grade.
If you want to give a comment, also.
Listening over everything, I wouldn't give him such a low grade. I would probably bump it up maybe to a B-. Again, I think that I do agree with the bottom half of that lineup. is just gonna have to be, you're gonna have to wait and see. Because if they can't get the job done, I think you're in trouble. I mean, I see the high numbers on top, but I'll breathe easy once I get past it. If I give up one run after getting through that, I'm not worried. Like I'll deal with that. You know, like I'm not, your defense, I think it's up to par. But again, with a guy like Marc Cohen, if they're pulling everything, how much of a factor does David Shweky really play in the outfield?
You could switch him over to left.
No, don't go ahead and do that. But right now he's in center field.
No, I get it.
So again, you could play away from David as far as the defense. I would take my shots at Isaac, you know. But again, you do have a lot of speed. You do have a lot of speed on there. Marc Cohen is Marc Cohen. You know, I played with him as well, and you know, it's going to be a show and tell season. I think that's really a lot of teams. It's going to be a show and tell situation. You're going to have to see what happens. Again, I think a B-. I think because of the captain, I think he knows what he's doing. I think he'll find the right fit, and he'll make it work. And they're going to want to play for him. I mean, that's really that definitely has an advantage. He'll make it work. He'll make it work. I think the second half of the lineup though is going to be. Will tell you how far they're going to go.
Agreed.
Another thing is, I think these two kids are very good friends. They actually asked to play together before the season.
Yes,
so
they did.
that'll definitely help with both of them being more comfortable. They're both
100%. It's just it really.
And the team and the chemistry on this team is really strong. We're all friends. We're all.
Yes, the power of friendship does
Right.
work. I fully believe in that.
Between this guy, and this guy, we're all.
No, I agree.
friends.
I said the same thing.
The
I
vibes
said
on this team are
the fact that you
immaculate.
don't have to worry
We're
about
not
the
gonna have any
unknowns.
fighting. There's none of
Exactly. It's a major advantage to go into week one knowing who you have and knowing your players and them knowing you.
Yeah.
It really makes a
We
difference.
skipped those 2 weeks of figuring each other out.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I feel the same way. And I did have that last year, but it worked itself out. But this year, I kind of went to that direction as well. It makes a big difference. I think you did a great job.